How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. Very fun video coming for you guys right now, an inside scoop, if you will. So where are we? We are in our event notices. You can see the Frostfall Jamboree events, part 3. I'm all the way down at number 7. So there's a lot you have to go through, but if you reach the end, it says new heroes available. Uridin, the Chaos Dominion Fighter. Attention, Uridin can be summoned in the Ancient Summoning. And that's the end. So to some of you guys, that might not sound like much. Of course Uridin's coming. I've been talking about nonstop. Everybody's been talking about it, right? Well, there was another line below this as of yesterday, and they just removed it. So I'll put a picture up right now. There's another new hero that was going to get added, and his name is Admiral Claw. A very sinister sounding name, and I do have him on test server. Actually, I should rephrase that. A very interesting thing. He is one of only 2 heroes in the game that is blacked out for me on test server. However, I do have him in the gallery. So let's head on to the test server and let's check him out.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Testing. Test server. That's right, we are on the Fastidious test server, the Fastidious test server, if you will. This is the test server. Got to give that disclaimer. So, Juicy Juice, Discord was littered with questions. I got a lot of DMs yesterday as well regarding this fella, Admiral Claw. And let me tell you, all I've seen so far is that he's blacked out. There are only 2 heroes in my entire gallery that are blacked out. I'll scroll through that right now. The other one I'll just tell you because people are going to ask is Anai. She's actually live on Forerunner. I don't know why I don't have her yet. I guess I'll get her when she comes to Global. I presume the same whenever Admiral Claw arrives as well, but he was supposed to arrive. So I presume he's going to arrive really soon. So I've verified that he's here. I've clicked on him, made sure I could see the skills, but I have not clicked on a single skill yet. So this is going to be a total first impression for me. Let's get into it. Admiral Claw, the Black Blood Marauder. He's clearly a pirate. I like the design. He's got some kind of necrosis on his arm here. He's cool. Giving me epic? Is that crazy to say he's giving epic? I don't know. Seems like a very cool epic. I'm talking about in terms of aesthetic. I would want something a little more legendary about this. Oh, as I say it, his hand starts glowing. That was pretty cool. Anyway, as the air teems with the noxious aroma of blood and the sharp tang of gunpowder, people know Admiral Claw is close at hand. Harnessing the malevolent power of blood, he empowers his cannons to obliterate anyone who dare oppose him. I'm thinking, are we going to get bleed? I don't know. They're talking a lot about blood here. This arm really is something. Actually, it's both arms. You just can't see the other one because it's wrapped around his giant little projectile cannon, his mobile cannon thing. His talent increases penetration by 5% for every 10% loss of HP up to 30%. Great time to note, he is a chaotic nightmare unit, right? So it's great that he's a fighter. Fighters work very well as nightmare units, but chaotic units, so as he loses 10% of HP, he's going to get penetration up to 30%. So that's quite interesting. Normally you see those thresholds would come at a loss of 70% when you were at 30%, but here it's going to come when he's at 70% with a loss of 30%, right? We can still be pretty healthy and not about to die, unlike some other chaotic units, at least with regard to the talent. We're going to have to see the other skills, and he can get 15% penetration. Penetration is pretty great. Penetration is going to ignore defense. It's going to ignore resistances. Very strong stuff. You know what? Seems like a great time to check out those base stats. We've been seeing power creep in base stats, so I feel like, is he going to be over 6,000 attack? That's what I'm thinking before I click on this. Let's see. No, pretty low, actually. 4923. Is he magic damage? No, he's normal damage. Okay, that's pretty interesting. That feels very low. I'm very curious about his kit now. HP is fairly standard, maybe slightly low. They're actually describing him here. Oh, look at that. He's got a great range. He's got that Aracha, Arrogance, Absin, Sealatu range, so he's going to join them. I like that a lot. So I'm thinking probably on his ultimate, his range will expand to like be that full 4x3 rectangle. That's what we see from Arrogance. That's what we see from Sealatu, right? Splash attack, I'm very interested what that's about. Late game, I've heard people argue with me about what late game means when they use it as a description. Someone was saying that the Calypso is late game because she gets better later on in the game. I don't think that's what it is. That would be late battle or long battle or something. Late game means he performs better later on in your gaming experience. So as you get deeper into content, as you get harder content, right? And then arena mastery, that's no surprise. Nightmare units, especially nightmare fighters, are very good in the arena, but chaotic units, they're kind of the kings of the arena, right? Defense is kind of meh. It's not bad, it's not good. These base stats aren't good. There's nothing special here. Attack interval is 2.6 seconds. Normal 14 rage regen auto. Nothing is jumping off the page here, so I'm very interested. I'm thinking it's probably a pretty juiced up kit, or we might have a Giselle on our hands. So nothing against Giselle, but she's underwhelming, right? Like, she's not that exciting. And that's what this is looking like, just based off of the talent and base stats and my little theory crafting. So the basic attack here, there's a lot going on in that basic attack. All right, AoE, physical damage. So we love an AoE basic attack, and especially with this range, that's very strong. I believe he would be on a basic attack with no, special trigger from the ult, something like the Berserker stance with Arrogance. I believe he would be the first fighter with that range to just have a big AoE on his basic attack. Maybe that's why he has the lower attack. He might be overpowered without that. Prioritizes enemies within one tile, dealing 100% damage to the main target and 25% splash damage to up to 2 enemies. All right, I don't know. Near the main target. If there's no target within one tile, cast Soul Lasher instead. We'll check out Soul Lasher in a second. If there is no target within one tile, cast Soul Lasher first. All right, what is Soul Lasher? Pulls one enemy in, so that's what his chain is for. It pulls them in within range with a chain in the front, to the front, dealing 150% damage, cannot target airborne units. With Soul Lasher, it's interesting that says that. Can the other things target airborne units? I'm not seeing that anywhere. I feel like it would say airborne in the description. Weird thing to throw in there. So splash damage, it's something, right? It does add an AoE element, but that's not so strong. And as you see, as you level it up, all the bonus damage is going to go just to the main target. So 120% to the main target is strong, but I don't love the base stats so far. 150% is good. I'm curious if that main target damage buffs Soul Lasher. I'm thinking it doesn't, but if it did, it would go up to 170%. Basically, he wants to get people close to him. I'm hoping that will synergize with the rest of his kit. I mean, the splash damage is nice, but when I first saw AoE physical attack, I was thinking he's going to be doing something like Valkyria or Ardia, but in that extended range, some big boy AoE. That's not what it's looking like. Let's go straight to the ultimate now. Okay, a nice short read. I love a short read. Doom Tether pulls at most 5 enemies into range. So I think this guy's gonna have amazing animations. Let's check over here. I want to see that chain. Come on, let's see. No, so that you saw the chain come on the bottom. I wonder what it's gonna look like when he pulls people into range. But looks pretty cool. Pulls at most 5 enemies in range, 250% AoE damage to all. Very low. 350% when you skill him up. What's cool is it's only gonna be 500 cost. It is a manual. It's not an auto like Ardia or Arrogance. But that's very low. Maybe he would perform well in Soulbound. So far, not jumping off the page to me. I'm gonna be honest. It lasts for 3 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. For every 3 attacks, reduces 5% of current HP and increases 2% of damage permanently. Upon triggering this effect 10 times, basic attack turns into Bloodstorm Annihilator. Now we might be cooking. So he's got a Berserker thing too. The way Arrogance enters a Berserker stance, he's got this Bloodfire Berserker. Very curious. So every 3 attacks, he is going to reduce his HP by 5%. So this maxes out at 10, so that'd be a 50% reduction. So now we're getting a real chaotic element. The chaotic units are always like on the verge of death. He does have that 2.6 interval, so you can get him going pretty quick. So what happens when we get him there? So also the increase in damage can go up to 6% permanently for each 3 attacks. So that would be 10 times. That'd be a 60% increase to damage. That's very strong. So Bloodstorm Annihilator increases attack by 20%, also increases attack interval. All right, I don't love that. Every attack launched reduces 5% of current HP, deals 180% damage to the main target, 40% splash damage, that's much better, to up to 2 enemies near the main target. I'm very curious, again, do these bonuses, are they, the way I wondered, would they go to Soul Lasher? Is the extra 20% if you skill them up? Is that going to go to Bloodstorm Annihilator? Because if that's the case, I feel like it would be, because then it'd be an even 200%, and then it won't affect the splash damage. But that'd be nice. Increasing the attack by 20%, that's probably why, he has the fairly low attack at 4,900. And I'm saying low for a fighter. You know, someone like Valeria has over 6,200, right? That's another, you know, dual faction membership that's also chaotic. But if you add 20%, if you take from like what's 20% of 5,000, it's 1,000. Now he's about in the 6,000 range. So he will reach this point. That's probably maybe they are saying late game, so he's better later on in the battle. Maybe that's what they mean. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because he certainly will be a lot better once he gets the permanent trigger of Bloodstorm Annihilator, and then he's gonna just basically have a 6,000 base attack, right? And I'm curious, actually, because this is going to happen once the battle's already started, and obviously once he's been deployed. Is this going to be a post-deployment boost? Because if that's the case, you know, if you'd built, you know, 15,000 attack on him, let's just go for easy numbers for me here, that'd be 20% of that. Now we're talking another 3,000 attack that you're getting from that. It's very strong. Let's go to the last passive besides the arena passive. When in Bloodstorm Annihilator, so we got that again. When in that state, increases damage to enemies whose HP is below 30% by 20%. That damage increase can be 30%. The HP threshold can be below 40%. I think he could be good. He's gotten much better as we've read through his kit. It does synergize well. Let's check the arena. I think he's probably going to be best in the arena is what it seems like. Attack range increases in the arena. Why don't they say it increases by 1 tile or something? I don't know. Let me actually note, guys, this is what it looks like at max level. So don't be confused by this thing. It's the same thing with like Arrogance and Seal 2. But when you actually get some promotions in, you'll see he gets the extra tile there and he gets the increased range. Doesn't look like he ever gets that full rectangle the way Seal 2 or Arrogance would. But all in all, he feels like a pretty strong hero. He feels solid. He doesn't feel amazing at all. Maybe there's a use case I'm not seeing. I thought maybe he'd even be potentially like mediocre to even bad at the very beginning, but now with the penetration, with the way he can get that basically permanent 20% increase, which the more I think about it probably is a post-deployment buff, so it's much stronger that way. The way he can have his damage building and building over here, so it can be up 60%. I mean, that's super strong. The way that he can get the 30% damage increase, and he only needs to be below 40. I could see him being really strong and working really well with your Vladov or your Gon, if you're lucky enough to have Gon. Curious to see how he works in a Nightmare team. I do not like at all the thing where his attack controls increased, but they're not saying by how much. Like, why do you, devs, why do you not just give us full information? It drives me nuts. Like, multiple targets. Tell us how many targets. Increases attack interval. By what? Give us a percentage or give us 0.5 seconds or whatever you want. He would need testing, but he's certainly not bad. Potentially, he's quite good. But I guess something to look forward to when we get him. I definitely don't think he's going to be a Giselle. Nothing against Giselle, but she's just so meh. And it would suck to get from an Ancient exclusive. Watch now, I'm going to pull Giselle. But all in all, there you go. That is Admiral Claw. I guess while we're in here, we might as well check out those Awakenings. When in Bloodstorm Annihilator state, increases penetration by an additional 10%. Well, that's really good. So now instead of 15%, when you're in that state, the 50% coming, I'm assuming he's at 70% health or less. Now it's going to be 25% penetration during this Annihilator state is crazy. Keep in mind, that's a permanent state once he's done his 30 attacks. Plus 300 attack, it's a standard. Let's go here. When in the state again, the Bloodstorm Annihilator. Attacks inflict vulnerability, 15% physical damage vulnerability. I like it. I like it. It's solid. All attacks are going to do it when he's in that state, and when he's in that state, he'll stay in that state. So just constant physical damage vulnerabilities, penetration, even more. So you could have him at 33% penetration. It's very strong. When in Bloodstorm Annihilator state, attack interval does not increase. See, this is like, could be an incredible awakening, or it could be fine. We don't know because we don't know how much the increase is right now. So tell us how much it is so we have full information so we can be informed when playing the game and when building our characters. Why do you do this? Why do you guys do this? It doesn't make sense. In Dragonair, you know, in so many ways, I like this game so much more than Dragonair. But in Dragonair, they've got something for the people that want to play casually and for the people that want frickin' information. So what you could do here in Dragonair is you'd have information. You wouldn't have percentages and this and this. It would just say it does cold damage or it does this and this. And then you can click details. There's a little toggle here, and then it gives you full information. So it might say multiple targets. Then you click details, and it says 6 targets or it says 8 targets. Why don't you do that? How can you have your A5? So you've pulled an Ancient exclusive hero because he is going to be an Ancient exclusive. You pulled him 6 times. Let's say you didn't use Soul Stones. You pulled him 6 times. You've now got him A5, and you don't even know what that A5 is going to do. We know it's going to remove the increase, but we don't know how strong it is because we don't even know what the freaking attack interval increase is. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? You have the information. You coded the freaking thing. Just tell us. All right, I'm done. He seems all right. He could be good. He could definitely be good. Especially with all that penetration and the damage increasing. Maybe he could even work in like very hard late endgame content where defenses are really high, resistances are really high. We would have to see. So I'll test him out if and when he comes. Sorry to get heated, but what the flippin' heck are you guys doing? All right, my name's Fastidious. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, comment, share, subscribe, share with your mother, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.
Fastidious.